people, man. This shit's gotta stop. Y'all seriously freaking out about freaking toilet paper again. Just came from Walmart. They were about empty. Publix about it. What? I don't understand what's going on. Everybody's freaking out with the toilet paper. If you don't freak out, buy a shitload. They won't run out. Ooh, look at this sexy lady.
Buy toilet paper?
No, they out.
For real?
Yeah.
But
Not completely out, but very low stock. This is my ongoing battle trying to eat healthy. And where's she at? She's in the ice cream aisle. Hey, what should we get? You, the bad influence.
Hazelnut amaretto. You know it's very good because when I was working in gelato shop, that's what we had. It's very hot.
Yeah, it's also full of a lot of sugar. Guys, we don't need this kind of temptation. We're trying to get fit. She's bad influence on me. Okay. I gotta get out of this aisle, man. You know, I've had lots of ups and downs in my life, and I'm still one very lucky guy to have such a beautiful little collection of cars here. The 50th Camaro SS, the Chevy SS, the GTO, which are both imported from Australia and are very low production. I love all these cars. I got the little Cruze, that's my daily driver, which actually just turned out to be a fantastic car. I bought it because I needed the car. I was driving over 200 miles a day, hit a deer, ruined my HHR, but man, it's been a fantastic car. And these three here, then we got Project Z28. I'll tell you what, even though financially these three cars are killing me, I have a payment on each one. It's really putting a strain on me, but I mean, man, I don't know, I love the cars. You know, now we have this big, beautiful garage right here. Life's pretty good, man, at times. Get the old RV right there. I had to pull her out because taking the trailer tomorrow, but yeah. So let me know what you think. What do you think of this? I love these cars. All right, everyone, ready for some Project Z28 content? I think I might take this car out before the end of the video and kind of show you what's going on, like how the car drives with the factory torque converter. But KY Chevy is going to be here right after Thanksgiving to install this, so that probably be my next video after this one posts. I was going to bring the GTO around. That didn't happen. I do have the parts. Here are the bearings. If you guys are kind of wondering here, show you the size of this thing. So there you have it. Huge. It's freaking monstrous, and it's pressed in. So this is where my problem is, but we have the toolkit now right there, that gray box. We had the toolkit to press and remove the bearings, the official GM kit. So I was going to bring this around and put it in. FedEx said it was expected delivery of Saturday. That didn't happen. It ended up coming here Monday, and on Monday we went to the wife's old place to go get some stuff. So with it already being right now Tuesday, I really don't want to get into bringing the car around and all that stuff right now. Try to save my back because we got to get the Z28 running. Check that out. I love that song, guys. I love it. You can get yours 10% off with the link down below. I wouldn't push that thing, but man, I really think that's kind of cool that you can customize and make it. It's so easy to do, and Christmas is coming up, so I want to get your loved one of those signs. So yeah, we're going to have some Z28 content. Once I get this torque converter in and we can finish dialing in the tune, I'll have so much more content for this thing. Right now it's just kind of sitting, and then we will get the GTO out. I have the bearings I still never found. I could have sworn I bought 2 of these the last time. I'm just the type of person I would never do one bearing, but I never did find it. But I have the 2 bearings. Also, got to thank Sparty Nation reminding me about the transmission to get seals for. So this one's where the torque converter goes in. This one's the rear shaft. We'll go ahead and see if we can't put those in while we have everything apart. That way we make sure there's no leaks and we do the job right. So there we go. All right, guys, I'm gonna go for a walk. Fitness challenges live. So sorry, I kind of wanted to take the Camaro out and drive it and show you what I was talking about with the torque converter and a stall speed. I was going to put it in drive, put my foot on the brake, give it gas, and show you when the tires would start spinning to kind of show you what we're facing. But it's been raining on and off, and I really don't want to get the underside of the car wet because we're about to put the torque converter in right after Thanksgiving. So basically, for those of you that don't understand, your torque converter has what's called a stall speed, and that's when the torque converter comes to a full lock and 100% of the power going through here goes to the transmission. It's like if you had a stick shift and you let the clutch up, that is when your clutch is fully engaged. If those of you that have driven a stick shift know that normally you take off, you lightly let up the clutch and you slip it a little bit. It's kind of like when you step on the brakes. Initially, you know, you just push down lightly and the brakes grab a little bit, they're slipping. So the problem we have with the Camaro and the big cam is the torque converter is almost like the clutch being up at all times. If I put my foot on the gas and the brake at 1200 RPM, if that, it's going to start spinning the tires. It's already locked, and that creates a lot of drag. This allows the engine to spin up to like 1800 RPM before it gives full power through to the transmission. So the way this works is this part bolts to the transmission, or this part bolts to the engine, to your flywheel. This bolts in. This whole thing spins. The whole case spins. In here are some splines, and your transmission hooks to the inner piece, which is like a bunch of veins kind of. So as this thing spins, your transmission fluid's in here, and as it spins faster and faster, kind of like a prop on a boat. You know, if you're in a boat and you're at idle, you know, you don't move very fast, but when you start getting that prop moving faster, it really propels. So you have veins that are in here. So as this spins faster, it puts all the power through here. So depending on that design is when this thing comes to lock up, where it's locked and it's putting all the power. So two things you do this. One, you know, we had the big cam. We're trying to take some of that burden off of the engine. The engine's spinning and it's not making a lot of power. It's a big cam, so it's not making a lot of power at idle. So it needs some help. We need to take some load off the engine, and we're doing that through the torque converter. So now the engine won't have the drag of the torque converter on it. You know, like if you had a stick shift, you know, if you put the clutch up too fast, or, you know, you stall the motor out because you just put too much of a load on, which is what we're having now. We're just putting too much of a load on it with the air conditioning and it being in gear. And right now with this big cam and that torque converter, the idle kind of surges. So that's why the IAC is having a hard time keeping up, because the engine's not staying at a steady thing, because with the cam it's like da, 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 da. So that's what we're going to accomplish with this. This is why you have a stall converter. This also helps you out if you're like a racer and you go to the track. Now what you can do is you can bring your RPM up. You can hold your foot on the brake, foot on the gas, and bring this thing up to like 1800, 2000 RPM. I think this thing goes up to 2200. So you can bring it up to, you know, 1800, 2000 RPM without spinning your tires, and then you get a launch and you're bringing your engine RPM up to where the cam, your engine makes power. Like the cam we have in here makes its power at like 2000 RPM, 2200 is where this thing starts making power. So I wanted to show you how easy the car spins the tires, to show you like where the factory torque converter locks up, but you're just gonna have to take my word for it. When we get this installed, we will go out on the road. We'll see how much RPM I can give the car without spinning the tires. Like I said, I know from experience they spin very easy. When I first bought the car, I did the video and I tested out the posi to make sure they would both spin, and I mean, as soon as I gave it gas, they were spinning. So yeah, so that's kind of why we have to do this. It's going to take some of the load off of the engine at idle, because right now the factory torque converter is basically just trying to spin the transmission at full power at idle. There's no slip, no stall added to it. So that's that's your stall speed. That's kind of how these things work, and that's how it's going to help this engine breathe. So it's kind of like a really simplified version, because I know not everybody kind of understands how automatics work and what we're doing with the torque converter and the stall speed, and why the IAC, my idle air control valve, has a hard time keeping up. When this car's in gear right now, the idle is surging kind of up and down, so this should fix it. All right, everybody, from me and my lovely wife here, we
Wish you a happy Thanksgiving.
All right, everyone, if you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and do so. We have a camping trip coming up. We got work on Project Z28. We're going to have a lot of good content. Stuff's going to start moving on the channel. KY Chevy is on his way. We're going to get this thing installed and running, so go ahead and subscribe. Like, shares, comments appreciated. Have a safe holiday, and we'll see you in the next one.
Don't burn your turkey or,
Thanks.
or casserole.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Wrong arm. Thanks for watching.